Thank you, Carol. Go tell it on the mountain. In Unity, a lot of times the work that we do here is really personal and internal. So at the end of today's service, or toward the end of today's service, I'm going to be inviting us to take the internal work that we're doing today and share it. Share it with one another, share it with our community, share it with the world. And that begs the question of, who are we as a community? So there's an identity statement that we use at Unity that helps us anchor in and repeat and affirm who we are. And it also helps us introduce ourselves to those of you who are not as familiar with us. So if you would like to please join me in saying our welcome statement or our identity statement together. We are a heart-centered community seeking spiritual awakening and transformation by deepening our connections with God, self, and others. And we love to sing. So please stand if you're able and join us in our welcoming song, How Can I Serve Today, Sweet Spirit?
Spirit, how can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where can I share today, sweet Spirit? Where can I share today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go.
You can see I play a couple of roles here in our community. Please have a seat. Thank you. We are also a community that is actively in transition and exploring how we would like to be led in the future. And I'm really proud of our process. One of the tools that we use, and arguably one of the more approachable tools, is affirmations. And so we have an affirmation that speaks into manifestation what we hope to bring forth. So please join me in speaking our transition affirmation aloud together. Unity of Bloomington is generating an abundant future in expansive alignment with Spirit. We lean deeply into truth principles and trust the process. Our greatest desire is to be abundant and attract those who value spiritual growth, including our next quiet minister. Thank you. For those of you who haven't met me before, my name is Devta, and I've been a member of Unity of Bloomington for over 20 years. I'm not great with timelines or history, but I know that my son is 20 years old, and I've been with Unity as long as my son's been in existence. And I do serve in a number of different roles in our community because I really value it. I find that participating in different ways deepens my commitment and also helps me understand our community a little bit better. But I wasn't always a Unity person. I didn't grow up in Unity. My background, like many of us, is from a different spiritual tradition. I grew up Catholic, very Catholic. And for those of you who are familiar with Catholicism, they are really heavy on ritual and ceremony. And the purpose of ritual and ceremony in Catholicism is, one, to kind of celebrate or make manifest the mystery that is the divine. And unfortunately, that sometimes creates a divide between those who know the mystery and those who don't. So in the olden days, the priests would use Latin, which not a lot of people spoke, but they would repeat it, right? So even if you didn't know exactly what was being said, there was an order to it. And that created a sense of predictability. And predictability brings comfort. And that is really helpful when everything outside the walls of the church is very uncertain. I can come into the sanctuary and I know what's going to happen. Unity takes a different tact than that. You'll see in the announcements that Reverend David LeBeau is going to be speaking next week. And he taught us that in unity, we're often presented by the world with the same situation over and over and over, and we have the opportunity to look at it from a different perspective and ask ourselves, what has changed? What has shifted? And notice I'm not asking, am I better? Am I worse? It's not a report card. It's not a performance review. It's about what has changed. I get to look at this same situation now from a different angle, from a different perspective. And I get to ask myself, what's different? What's shifted? But how do we identify those things? Sometimes the voice of what is different is subtle. Or maybe we don't have a tool for really listening, or maybe we haven't cultivated that listening very well. But there are tools out there. And our founders of Unity would say the way that we identify what's different or what we need to do more of, less of, differently, is to go into the silence. And that is one way. But it's not easy. We have chatter. We have all of this stuff that's happening. And if you're, older than 2 years old, then you've got a ton of layers of experience that are contributing to that noise and to that chatter. So how do we break through? And in my professional life, I am passionate about continuous improvement. And how do I ask somebody who's been doing the same job for 10, 15, 20, 25 years to look at their work process differently? I have to disrupt. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. We have to stir the pond and find those things that have been covered up in the mud, allow them to float to the surface so we can skim them off. And today we're going to be writing them on a piece of flash paper and then offering it to the fire. And it combusts. It's gone. It's a symbolic gesture, but it has an energetic component to it as well. And the Sufis knew this, right? They knew that if I asked you, just point blank, what would you like to release? Our tendency as humans is to go right into our brain and sift through the computer and ask, what do I need to do differently? Well, I should eat more healthfully. I should reach out to my friends more often. I should exercise more. We want to get out of our brains. It's not about what we should do. It's about what is ripe to be dropped, what is ready to be flung off. So the Sufis would twirl, right? They would disorient themselves, which would take out that logical brain and get them into that divine alignment where they could then discern the difference between activity and stillness and see what floats to the surface. I'm not going to ask us to twirl today, logistically. That's a little challenging. But there are a couple of tools that I have in my toolbox that I'm going to invite us to participate in today. I'm going to introduce these to you, and you have the option of participating in all of them, some of them, none of them, totally your choice. So I'm going to introduce these to you. I'm going to tell you what we're getting ready to do. Then I'm going to introduce each one in turn. At the end of all three of them, we're going to sit in some music and a little bit of silence and give you an opportunity to see if anything comes up that you want to write on a piece of flash paper. And then you'll be invited to come forth and offer it to the fire. Sound good? All right. So the three options that I'm going to offer for disruption are breath. This is something that is portable, mind-altering, but also legal. My favorite. My favorite. And then we'll go into, and if any of you know me, you'll know that this next one is no surprise, chanting. One word, one syllable, shaking up the gray matter a little bit. And then we'll use our bodies. We're going to shake our bodies. So we're getting the whole physical being engaged and involved in this process to shake loose and see what's going to come up, and then offer that to the fire. So let's start with the breath. This is called breath of fire. And we start, it's not unlike the panting of a dog. So let's go ahead and just start by sticking out our tongue and panting like a dog. When you feel like you've got a rhythm, pull your tongue in and do the same breath through your nose. Okay, and pause. The goal is to get an equal inhale and exhale. So if you start to feel a little lightheaded, or if you start to feel some pain along the sides of your neck or your shoulders, then just go back to your normal breathing for a moment, and then rejoin the breath of fire if there's enough time. We're not going to do this all day. We're going to do this for a little less than a minute. It's going to seem like it's longer than that, but it is not for forever. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, but you're not experiencing either of those symptoms, stay with it. Okay, so just like we did before, stick your tongue out, pant like a dog, and then when you're ready, pull your tongue in, close your mouth, and continue through your nose. Inhale deeply and hold. Exhale. Melt into the chair. Keep your eyes closed if that feels comfortable. Allow the chair to accept the bulk of the weight of your body. Allow yourself to be supported and relax. Notice that difference between action and inaction. Maybe something is starting to become clearer now. If not, no worries. We've got a couple of other tools to try. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Slowly open your eyes. And we're going to use the sound current. One word, one syllable. Om. Many different traditions use this, but it has its roots in Hinduism. Some people spell it O-M, some people spell it A-U-M. We're going to use more the A-U-M type. When you think of the syllable as a whole, O is so big and expansive, right? It means eternal. Is bringing that inside and instructing ourselves we have eternity, we have the cosmos inside of us. So think about that just for a moment. I have the cosmos inside of me. When we chant, we're going to use that first syllable like we're taking a bite out of the universe. Oh. And on the we're going to feel the vibration in our lips and imagine that you can draw it up to the tippy top of your head. Now, each of us has a different breathing rhythm. Some of us have really expansive lung capacity, and you can hold Om all day. And some of us can only do it in little hummingbird sips. And most of us are somewhere in the range in between. All of that is fine. So we don't have to chant in unison. It's going to come in pockets and waves, and that's fine. So we're going to take a bite out. Om. And then hold the hum, hold the part of it as long as you can. And then take another breath. Yeah, there's some of us who are droners. That's awesome. Okay, deep breath in. Exhale. And then we'll start. Inhale again. Inhale deeply and hold. Exhale and once again melt into your chair. Allow the chair to support you, support your weight, support your structure. Your being contains the cosmos. Notice the difference between activity and inactivity. Notice the silence that you're cultivating. And once again, notice if there's anything that comes up. Anything that's ready, ripe for falling off. Calling to be flung loose. Inhale deeply. Open your eyes softly. And now for the last one, we're going to bring in our bodies. Everyone looks so blissful. This is awesome. So I'm going to show you 3 modifications for this next one. The first is the most active, and it's to stand up and hop. And get your shoulders into it, get your boobs into it, get your butt into it. Just shake. If that doesn't feel comfortable, then in a seated posture, you can do a little hop with your shoulders. And if that is not accessible to you, you can nod your head and imagine yourself jumping up and down. And again, this is for less than a minute, so you might decide to start standing and then end sitting and nodding your head, whichever way is fine. Let's take a deep breath in, and whichever option you choose, begin. Halfway there. Find your seat. Sit down, take a deep breath in, and hold. Exhale. Once again, melt into the chair. Allow the chair to receive the weight and the structure of your body, and give it up. We're going to play a little bit of music now. And in the music, in the space in between, ask yourself the question, what is ripe to fall off, to fall away? What came to the surface and is ready to be skimmed off? What is ready to be flung loose? Whatever comes up for you, write that on your flash paper, and when you're ready, just come forth and offer it to the fire. Ooh. Carol. Here, maybe. There we go. Yeah, set it in and pull back. I got you, Michelle. Want to make sure that one doesn't stick around, huh? Oh, nice. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your willingness to let go. And in the past, we had the burning bowl and the white stone ceremonies as separate things. And if I remember correctly, Lauren Lane Powell put them together. And the reason is that nature abhors a vacuum, right? We let something go, something is ready to come in. And indeed, sometimes we can't bring anything new in until we let go of that. We create space for that, right? And so, remembering that what we're doing today is not a New Year's resolution. This is not, how can I improve myself incrementally? This is connecting with your soul's calling and giving that name and writing it on a stone. Every year that we do this, I keep this in my hand, in my pocket, in my purse, and occasionally I'll find it, and it will remind me, oh yeah, that's what I need to focus on and put my energy toward this year. This may be something that you already have or already doing. This is a quality of being. This is how we want to show up in the coming year. What are some words that you think of when you think of stone? Just speak as the Spirit moves you. Hard? Cold? Rigid? Rough? Mineral? Heavy? Porous? What was that over here? Solid. Okay. So this is a foundation, and it may be solid, it may be porous, but this is what we are building on. It's a symbol of what we're building on, what we want to put forth. My word last year was integrity. It wasn't something that I didn't have, but it was something that I wasn't being intentional about. Wanting to be true to my word. And so we're going to go into meditation now and explore what is that's coming through for you. How are you being called to show up in the coming year? And write that on a stone. Hold it on your heart. Actually, during the meditation, I'm going to ask that you hold the blank stone on your heart. And you know what? If nothing comes up for you, that's fine. I encourage you in that case to take the stone home with you, take it into your personal meditation practice, and then once it does have some shape Once Spirit is able to articulate, then you can write it down. So no pressure. I'll also invite you, we have a wonderful time that we're building after service to linger and mingle. If you feel called to, if it feels comfortable to you to share what you wrote on your stone, then we as a community can support you. But only if you feel called to. So take a deep breath in. Exhale. And once again, allow the chair, the structure of the chair, to accept the weight of your body. And take your white stone and place it on your heart. See yourself standing in a desert of white sand, beautiful, pure white sand. As you look around, the only things that you can see are that white sand and the blue sky, expansive blue sky. You are by yourself, but you are not alone. You sense that presence. You sense that expansive cosmos. And you ask your guides, your ancestors, the Holy Spirit, whoever you connect with, you ask that entity, let me know. Affirm for me, confirm for me. How can I serve? Speak in a way that I will understand. How can I serve? You look toward the horizon where it looks like the sand and the sky meet, and you see a shimmer, almost like a heat wave. And you become curious and excited with anticipation. You know that the message is coming to you. You know that it's coming from that divine source. And you are excited. And you breathe. Keeping your eyes on that shimmer, it comes closer, and somehow you know this thing. It has no shape, but somehow you feel it, and you breathe. Keeping your eyes on that same spot, you get excited with anticipation. This thing comes nearer and nearer, and there it is. It speaks its name. If in this moment you understand the name that it's given, I invite you to write that on your white stone. Or keep keep this stone at your heart. Once you have written that thing, return the stone to your heart and breathe in and out. And just as we did with the disruptive tools, take a deep breath in and hold. Anchor in this new name and exhale. Slowly and gently open your eyes as you feel ready. Thank you. Thank you for your intentional evolution. The space that you created when you flung something free, released it, and then invited something in is inspiring. The momentum that that creates helps us all evolve. And we are able to do things like this in our community because we are a community. When you give of your time, your treasure, your talents, you help us ensure that our community is able to be here for those who seek it. And we don't know who those are. And at this time, we're grateful for the opportunity to be able to give. And there are, for those of you online, there are lots of different ways to give. You can come here physically. We accept any kind of treasure. You can mail a check. For those of us here in the chapel, we'll be passing around a basket or a bag. And as the bag comes to you, I encourage you to give of your energy, whichever way you give. Give of your energy and bless that, because it's that goes forth and creates something new and inspirational in the world outside of these walls. Will the greeters please come forward? And once again, we have an affirmation that calls forth what we would like to see in the world. And I invite you to join me in speaking this aloud. Together, I am an abundant being in an abundant universe. I am not dependent on people or situations for my good. God is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best, I give my best, and I now attract the best in every experience. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful today. I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. Today, I choose to be loving, so loving today. I choose to be loving, loving today. I choose to be loving, so loving today. I choose to be loving, loving. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. It's all up to me today. Woo! I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful today. I choose to be peaceful, peaceful today. I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful today. I choose to be peaceful, peaceful, to be peaceful, peaceful, to be peaceful, peaceful. Yeah, we had some dancing going on in the back. Thank you. I'd like to invite you to come back, and please join me in speaking as we bless the gifts that we've been giving together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Thank you. Couple of announcements. Today we have the mingling and the snacking, all the things afterwards, and we also have a bunch of decorations up that we need to take down. So if you have a couple minutes and can join us in doing that, many hands make light work. By January 11th, that's the deadline to contact the nominating committee for nomination to the board. And Dan is someone you can see. Melanie is not here, and Patty is not here. So see Dan if you're interested. I mentioned that next week, Reverend David LeBeau is going to be teaching a Unity Basics class. He's also giving the message. So this is not your typical service. We don't burn things every week, unfortunately. I would love that. A little bit of a pyro. So he will give a message. We will have a potluck afterwards. And if you haven't been to a Unity potluck, you don't know what you're missing. And then there'll be a class that David gives on the Unity Basics. Childcare will be available.
How long's that last, Devta?
The workshop? That's 12:30 to 2. Okay.
Sign-up sheets in the back.
Sign-up sheets in the back, and bring your favorite. It always somehow works out, but it's good if you write your intention down. Joe?
You don't have to bring anything if you don't want to.
There you go. Don't have to bring anything. It's the fishes and the loaves. It always works out. There's a board meeting on the 17th, the Course in Miracles workshop on the 21st, and an annual meeting, save the date, February 25th, immediately after the service on that day. Reverend Karen Williams will be our speaker on the 21st, and then Tana McElhaney and Michael May will co-speak on the 28th. Before we close, our typical closing is to form a large circle and sing one last song, because we love to sing. But before we do that, if you would like to please stand and say the prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And please join us in forming a circle and singing our final song.